Hi, welcome to our channel, Mind Programming, where we bring smart insights from top books distilled for busy minds. Let's begin staying strong when things go wrong. Small is not a step to big. Many people think small is just the beginning. They imagine it as a temporary stage on the way to becoming big. But being small has its own power. Small means faster decisions, closer relationships, and fewer layers between problems and solutions. Staying small can be a choice, not a failure to grow. There was a family-run clothing shop in a quiet neighborhood. Big retailers moved in over time, but this small store stayed open for years. Why? Because they stayed close to their customers. They remembered names, made special orders, and even delivered items by hand. Their small size wasn't something to escape. It was the secret to their long-lasting success. When you're small, you don't need permission to change. You don't need to ask 5 managers to fix a simple mistake. You can move quickly and care deeply. That kind of flexibility and heart is hard to scale. Don't throw more at problems when something isn't working. The first instinct is often to add more. More people, more tools, more meetings. But most problems don't need more. They need clearer thinking, simpler steps, or less clutter. Throwing more at a problem can hide it instead of solving it. There was a company that felt their customer support was falling behind. They thought about hiring 5 new support agents. But before they did, they looked at the numbers. They found that half of their messages came from a confusing payment system. Fixing that system cut support emails in half. In the end, they only needed 1 new hire, not 5. Solving problems doesn't mean growing bigger. It means thinking smarter. Always look for what can be removed or improved before adding more. You need less than you think. People often believe they need more time, more features, or more money to succeed. But most of the time, what's already available is enough. Real progress comes from using what you have with focus and care, not waiting for perfect conditions. There was a writer who thought she needed a new laptop, better software, and a quiet cabin to finish her book. But then her old computer crashed, and she had to use a borrowed notebook and write in cafes. She ended up finishing her book in 6 weeks, not because her tools were better, but because she finally focused. The conditions weren't perfect, but her mindset changed. You don't need perfect gear, endless time, or a big budget. You need to start, and keep going with what you've got. Start at the epicenter when working on something big. It helps to focus on the core first. That's the part of the work that really matters, the center that holds everything together. If you get the core right, the rest becomes easier. If you start with the edges, you may never reach the heart of the matter. A small team once set out to build a recipe app. They started with the recipe input tool, the very thing people would use the most. They didn't worry about design, filters, or fancy features. They just wanted people to easily add, view, and save a recipe. Once that was solid, they added layers. Because the base was strong, everything else worked better. Focus on the foundation. Get the main thing right. Then worry about the rest. Damage control. Mistakes will happen. Things will break. A customer will be upset. What matters most is how you respond. The wrong way is to hide, blame others, or pretend it's not serious. The right way is to own it, fix it, and move forward with honesty. People forgive errors more than they forgive lies or silence. There was a company that once released a software update that deleted user files. It was a painful mistake, but instead of hiding, they explained what went wrong, offered help, restored as much as they could, and apologized clearly. They even shared how they'd changed their process to prevent it in the future. Most customers stayed loyal. They respected the honesty more than the perfection. A fast, clear, human response turns a mistake into a chance to build trust. Take a deep breath when a crisis hits. Emotions run high. You might feel the need to react quickly, to make big changes, or to blame someone. But the best first step is usually nothing. Just breathe. Give yourself a little time to understand what's really going on. That pause can save you from rash choices. One founder once got a harsh message from an unhappy client. His first thought was to fire back a defensive reply. But he waited a day. The next morning, he read it again and saw the real issue. A bug in the software. He replied calmly, "Fix the bug. and turned a frustrated user into a loyal one. If he'd reacted too fast, it might have gone the other way. In moments of heat, a little space can cool things down. Let your customers outgrow you. Some customers will want things you don't offer. They'll ask for features you don't want to build or services that don't fit your vision. And that's okay. You don't have to please everyone. It's better to stay true to your path than to stretch too far. Try to hold on to every person. A design tool once had a customer who kept requesting features meant for big teams. But the product was made for individuals and small groups. The team kindly explained why they weren't going in that direction. Eventually, the customer moved on. It was the right decision. Trying to chase that one user would have changed the product too much for everyone else. It's okay to let some people leave if it means staying focused for the ones who remain. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.